Namaste and greetings. I, Bollineni, researcher at IMPRI, Impact and Policy Research Institute, Prabhav Evam Niti Anusandhan Sansthan, Nai Delhi, extend my warmest welcome to you all at IMPRI Web Policy Learning. Today marks the 8th day of Ending Gender-Based Violence Fellowship, an online international spring school program, a 3-month online immersive certificate training course on ending gender-based violence, intersectional responses, community initiatives, and systemic interventions. This program is organized by the IMPRI Gender Impact Studies Center, GISC. The chair for the program is Professor Vibhuti Patel, former Vice President of Indian Association of Women's Studies, former Professor of Economics at TISC, Mumbai, and visiting distinguished professor at IMPRI. The conveners for the program are Advocate Dr. Shalu Nigamji, Professor Gumadi Sridevi ji, Dr. Simi Mehta ji, and Dr. Arjun Kumar ji. Proceeding further, I heartily welcome you all to Ending Gender-Based Violence Fellowship. Your valuable time, energy, and contributions toward addressing and engaging with this critical challenge are sincerely appreciated. We have also shared the course outline and reading resources in the guidelines document via email for your reference. Before we start today's session, here are some of the housekeeping rules. It is imperative that you join the meeting on time. There will be a Q&A session after each presentation. Say your questions in the Q&A box and not in the chat box. So without any further ado, I would now like to invite our chair, Professor Vibhuti Patel, for her opening remarks. Ma'am, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Purvi. First of all, I think I would like to congratulate all the participants for being throughout with us for all the previous 8 days, and more than 15 resource persons who are directly dealing with the gender-based violence were present. Out of an interesting aspect of cohort was that we had 4 resource persons who are men and so committed and have done a pioneering structures, systems, policies, legal reforms through their effort, through their participatory action research, for documentation. They are public intellectuals also. So I think it was a very rewarding experience to get such luminaries in one particular course. And the way you all have chosen the topics for your research or creative presentation is also good. We have been in touch with you. You have been sharing your proposal, your progress, the challenges that you are facing. So it has been a co-creation of knowledge that we have had. And today is a day where you are the heroes and heroines, and you have to make the presentation. We are going to listen to you and give our feedback. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. All right. So, without any further ado, we will now begin a powerful segment, Creative Project Presentations by our fellows. These presentations will reflect the aim of our mission, using creativity as a tool to challenge and change the narratives around gender-based violence. Each fellows brings a unique lens, powerful insights, and bold imagination to address issues of safety, dignity, and justice. So let's listen, engage, and be inspired. So we will have our first presentation by Priyanka ma'am. Can we have the list of the fellows?
Yeah, there are 10 presentations today which
Yes,
are promised.
Absolutely.
First presentation is by Durga ji. Durga ji.
Yeah. Durga ji, you can start your presentation now.
Yeah, thank you, Purvi. Thank you, Priyanka. I hope my voice is clear. Hello, everyone. My name is Durga, and thank you so much giving this valuable opportunity. I'm really glad that I'm able to part of this fellowship. And today I will going to present. I never tried to write my own poem. So please, अगर उसमें कोई आपको राइम ना मिले तो प्लीज माफ कीजिएगा. Yesterday I just sat for write my own poem, and unconsciously words come from my mind, and I just wrote it down. And I'm going to present now. I will not take a lot of time. I just want to share my screen. Please, Purvi, let me know it is visible to all.
Yeah, your screen sharing has been started. Yes, it's visible.
Okay, thank you so much. So, My poem title is Asan Hai. It is in Hindi and I have translated in English with the help of AI. So if anybody not able to understand Hindi, please read it in English. I will मैं हिंदी में बताऊंगी क्योंकि आई एम गुड विथ इन दैट लैंग्वेज. Although Hindi is not my first language, so even though if you find some mistake, please excuse me for that. So आसान है बस चुप रहना है. आसान है बस चुप रहना है. चुप रहो जब तुम्हारी पढ़ाई की बात हो, क्योंकि ये घर की इज्जत का सवाल है. आसान है बस चुप रहना जब कोई तुम्हें छुए, छेड़े या छूकर चला जाए. आसान है बस चुप रहना जब कोई तुम्हें घूरे, छेड़े या छूकर चला जाए, वरना तुम्हारा ही घर से निकलना मुश्किल हो जाएगा. आसान है बस चुप रहना जब कोई प्रेम के नाम पर तुम्हें परेशान करे. आसान है बस चुप रहना जब कोई तुम्हें प्रेम के नाम पे परेशान करे, क्योंकि अगर बात घर तक पहुंच गई तो दोष तुम्हारा ही माना जाएगा. क्योंकि अगर घर तक बात पहुंच गई तो दोष तुम्हारा ही माना जाएगा. आसान है बस चुप रहना जब घर वाले रिश्ता लेकर आए तो हाँ कहना. आसान है बस चुप रहना जब घर वाले रिश्ता लेकर आए तो हाँ कहना, क्योंकि घर वाले तुम्हारा बुरा थोड़ी चाहेंगे. आसान है बस चुप रहना अगर पति या ससुराल वाले पढ़ाई में अड़चन डाले. आसान है बस चुप रहना अगर पति या ससुराल वाले पढ़ाई में अड़चन डाले, क्योंकि तुम्हारी जिम्मेदारी पति है, तुम्हारे सपने नहीं. क्योंकि तुम्हारी जिम्मेदारी पति है, तुम्हारे सपने नहीं. आसान है स्त्री की जिंदगी में बस कुछ बातें समझ लेना. आसान है स्त्री को जिंदगी में बस कुछ बातें समझ लेना. सहना है, घुटना है, समझौता करना है, सामंजस्य दिखाना है. बहन, ये सब सीख लो, बहुत काम आएगा इस समाज में, क्योंकि इसके बिना जीना आसान नहीं है. अगर तुम इसके विपरीत हो तो शायद तुम्हारे लिए अच्छी बेटी, बहू, माँ या बहन बनना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाए. अगर तुम इसके विपरीत हो तो शायद तुम्हारे लिए अच्छी बेटी, बहू, माँ या बहन बनना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाए, क्योंकि तुम्हें त्याग नहीं आता होगा और ना चुप रहना भी. क्योंकि तुम्हें त्याग नहीं आता होगा और चुप रहना भी नहीं. मैं गर्व से कहती हूँ मुझे चुप रहना नहीं आता. मैं गर्व से कहती हूँ मुझे चुप रहना नहीं आता. मैं सावित्री ज्योतिबा भीमराई रमाई की बेटी हूँ. मैं सावित्री ज्योतिबा भीमराई रमाई की बेटी हूँ, जिन्होंने हमें सहना नहीं, अन्याय के खिलाफ आवाज उठाना सिखाया है. जिन्होंने हमें सहना नहीं, अन्याय के खिलाफ आवाज उठाना सिखाया है. इसलिए मेरे लिए जिंदगी को आसान बनाना नहीं, इसलिए मेरे लिए जिंदगी को आसान बनाना नहीं तो अपने अधिकारों के लिए लड़ना है. शायद इसलिए मेरे जैसी स्त्रियों के लिए जिंदगी कठिन है. थैंक यू. ये थोड़ा एफर्ट्स था जो मैंने ट्राई किया कि मैं कुछ लिख पाऊँ. आई होप ये जो जो भी उल्टी चीजें मैंने लिखी है थोड़ा आपको समझ में आया होगा. थैंक यू.
नहीं, ये सटायर बहुत ही अच्छा मीडियम है. आपने जो माध्यम चुना है कटाक्ष का, वो बहुत ही पावरफुल है, क्योंकि ये दिल को छूता भी है और सोचने पे भी मजबूर करता है. तो आपने बहुत ही अच्छी तरह से इसे किया है, और आपने जो ट्रांसलेशन करने की कोशिश भी एआई की मदद से की है, वो भी एक प्रशंसनीय काम है. इट्स रियली एडमायरेबल एंड कमेंडेबल. दिस थिंग, कांग्रेचुलेशंस.
थैंक यू.
Thank you so much, Durga ji. We have our next presentation by Amrita Das. Amrita ji, would you like to go now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I visible?
No, you are not visible, nor is your presentations.
Just a minute. Yes. Am I visible now?
You are
Yes, you are.
50%. Yeah. You have to
Good
adjust
evening,
your screen.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I just came out from my job, so I'm looking very tired. Sorry for that. I want to
You will
share
want to
my
release
screen.
that.
Just a minute. How to share that?
They have given you no permission.
Yes, and there's an option given, share screen.
Uh,
Also show adjust your.
can you help me to do this?
Ma'am, do you have your presentation with
You
you?
can email it.
Yeah.
You can
Yes.
email it to IMPRI. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And they will
Okay.
share.
So if yes, I can email
Just
it.
adjust
So
your
can I be the
screen so
third
that
one because it can take time?
Yes, yes, absolutely. So we will move
yeah.
forward with our third presentation.
So
Presentation.
after that, I am presenting mine.
Yes, yes, absolutely, ma'am.
Okay,
So,
I'm mailing you, ma'am.
all right, ma'am. So we have a presentation by Vidya Kulkarni ji. Ma'am, please go ahead with your presentation.
Is it visible?
Yes, yes, yes.
The presentation is visible, no?
Yeah, it's in working mode. You'll have to make it a
Yeah, I have made it. I have
Yes,
made it.
absolutely.
Yeah,
slideshow.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I'm Vidya Kulkarni, based in Pune. And thank you, Vibhuti, ma'am, and IMPRI team. Actually, I would like to call you Vibhuti because we are from feminist team and feminist movement, and we know each other as by first name. But here, I really enjoyed the lectures and all your presentations, and it was a very learning experience, good learning experience for me. And regarding this presentation also, I enjoyed doing it. It's in um, work in progress mode. Uh, and I would like your inputs to take it to the final stages. Now, I'm a writer and photographer. So my creative presentation is photographic. And my subject, I have written here two titles. The first is Women's Sense of Safety and Security in Public Spaces in Pune. So this is the title I chose when I presented the research brief. And after presenting the research brief read some material on this. I talked to some people in Pune who are working on traffic and infrastructure issues. And after thinking over what I'm reading, I I a little bit changed the emphasis of my title, and it is now means when I wrote the blog, my blog's title is Growth and Women's Everyday Experiences in Public Spaces. So I think sense of safety and security is one part of everyday experiences of women, and everyday experiences also cover not so threatening but invisible forms like discomfort, irritation, and other forms of uh, things that disturb us when you use public spaces. So this is a little bit of change in the emphasis of the research project. Now, the reason why I chose this topic, I've been living in Pune for last 5 decades, almost 50 years, and I've seen it change, the city change from a familiar place to unfamiliar place. Pune, and especially Pune's traffic has become chaotic, and I'm like me, other people, many Puneites, like Pune citizens, they have to navigate this traffic every day, and it's really exhausting. So my personal experience was the basis of choice of this topic. I've been thinking about it, but this fellowship program gave me the chance to put it in a systematic manner. So everywhere in Pune, the construction is going on, and we see these kind of boards men at work. Means to ease the traffic congestion, there is some construction, road widening, flyovers, some construction or other constantly going on our cities' roads. And we see this May Network sign. And I find it really funny because, yes, there are construction worker men, they are working. But there are men who are behind these decisions and policies, making these policies. So this is from this male point of view, these projects are designed and implemented, and they hardly think of what common citizens and women need. As a result, what happens? As a result, we get projects like these. This photo is taken in 2018 on Karve Road. This is a foot-over bridge to cross the busy Karve Road. Uh, and as we can see here, an old man is finding it difficult to climb up and climb down. So infrastructures are built, but they are not they are not built constructed from the point of view of the end users, that is the citizens. And citizens include all kinds of people, including aged people. So such infrastructure creates problem for us. Another example is road widening. To ease the traffic jams and to make smooth way for the traffic, roads are widened. But when roads are widened, uh, vehicles increase, and the street vendors are further marginalized. In some places, they are completely removed from the road, losing their business. So this situation I have been experiencing, and I have been part of the problem and part of the problem also, because I am also I also need broad roads for easy commute and all. So, but ultimately, this impacts certain sections of people for whom uh, these solutions are not working. So that's why I feel this is the basically the context of my research or the study project. Um, and the context is the expanding traffic and urban construction. So how the users, especially women, they experience uh, 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 this situation on the road, and do they file themselves? And okay, the key questions of these studies, I have uh, decided two key questions. Okay, what is the women's sense of inclusion in the public spaces? So the sense of inclusion, and what kind of infrastructure they would like to have. What are their suggestions? What are their needs? These are the key questions I would like to ask, or I'm asking the study group, focus group participants. And I have chosen three types of three types of groups that use public spaces. One is street side vendors, one is pedestrians, and the third is public transport users. So, because while reading the material, I realized that each group, each type has different needs and different challenges when they use public spaces. So I would like to know what are the commonalities in the challenges and what are the distinct challenges to each type of group. So far, I have been able to study meet with some street vendors and find out their challenges. Here you will see three photographs of a single woman. Her name is Pushpalata. She's 72 years old, and she's a fruit and vegetable vendor. Since 15 years, the past 15 years, she is doing this business, this work, and before that, she was doing other things to earn livelihood. Now, these three photographs are taken in three time zones. First one is in 2018, second one is 2023, and third one is recent one, 2025. The first two photographs you will see, she's in the similar place. She rented this place, and she was using it for her day-to-day sale. This place is situated at a near a flyover, and where traffic is very busy. So that's a very good place for her because she gets her customers there. And she's situated there for 15 years. She has a loyal customer base also. But what happened after 2023, the owner changed the owner increased the rent. She used to initially she used to pay 50 rupees per day, and in 2023 she used to pay 200 rupees per day. And the owner of this shop, he demanded more, and she couldn't afford it, so she had to leave that place. So because now this area has become, there are a lot of residential complexes, there is flyover, there is busy traffic. So this has become a prime location. And that's why the rents have gone up and she couldn't afford it. So she left this place and tried to find out other places. But she got a place near her son's workshop, which is in another area. And setting up business in another area was difficult for her. And so she tried that, and in that place also, she said the problem was that there was no washroom. So she had to sit there the whole day, but there were no washrooms accessible. So she now is sitting in this 2025 photo, this third place. It's just a corner place, and there is a small platform. She uses this place, and uh, which is near her old shop. So her customers can see her and come to her. So uh, uh, she has tried to solve her problem, but she is affected by the uh, changing nature of the local area and the increased rent. Uh, Similar problem challenge uh, is faced by another.
Sorry to interrupt in between, ma'am. Just 1 minute left.
Yeah. What happened?
I was just saying that we are short of time. Like all the presentations have been stick to 3
Okay.
minutes only. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
please.
I will just take 1 minute. So this is another street vendor in the same area. The first photo is 2018. The second photo is 2025. And she's also doing business for 25 years. But she received the license only last year. So without license, she was working for so many years. Now, for both these women, no, talking with these street vendors, I think public space is their space of livelihood. And that has become busy, which is good for them because they get more customers and also they can work for more hours. Earlier, they used to close their shop around 8 o'clock because there were nobody on the road, but now they can keep it open up to 10 in the night. And there are other shops also open, so they can work till late. Uh, Second thing I observed in this my interaction with people, these women, is that the to understand the sense of safety and security, I need in-depth kind of conversations and how much it is possible with in spaces like in public spaces with women commuting or women doing working as street vendors is really challenging for me. I have to find a way out for that. So I have come here. I have to yet to talk to other groups of women. Uh, so I will do it in the coming days. I would like your feedback and also inputs to how to take it further. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You have posed the problem very effectively with your photographs and also the caption that you have. But I think you should also focus on the solutions which some of the other cities have had. For example, Ahmedabad, where Seva took an initiative and they said that the safe hawkers zone is a right of the women. No, so those some of the success stories, and in fact, we were given such a rosy picture of Pune that in
No.
Pune is more gender friendly than Bombay, because in Bombay they are ruthlessly every day in and day out. We see how the municipal authorities, they throw away their basket, and there is a permanent the van standing there, and it's despite giving bribe. No, that's what the vendors are saying. कि दूसरी जगह पे पैसे लेते हैं और काम करने देते हैं, यहाँ पैसे भी ले लेते हैं और काम भी नहीं करने देते. That's what is the famous sentence in Bombay. So I think we need to, and plus several African countries, even Thailand and all, when we go, we see that women are safely doing their business, vendors and vegetable vendors, fruit vendors, even the door-to-door sell. So I think, and in certain African states like in Kenya and all, we have also seen women's specially allocated zone for the vendors, where they can do this. So the change is possible. It is basically the insensitivity, because we talk about smart city, but we are not talking about the gender-friendly city, poor-friendly city, or safe. The concept of safe city itself needs, smart city needs to be challenged, and it has to be more safe cities, elderly-friendly city, gender-friendly city, child-friendly city, person with disability. If you could get photograph of person with disability, how are they negotiating this thing? In fact, in Bombay, currently at the at Fountain, there is a big installation which is made by the Artists Guild, and that is nothing but big stones. That itself shows that how the people are suffering, and the Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister says, another 2 years we'll have to suffer. Imagine every day you hear the reports of senior citizens being, because even in Bombay, even on footpath, two-wheelers are going. So you can't even walk on the footpath. Most of the footpaths have gone in the name of road widening, but wherever they are there, two-wheelers are this thing, because four-wheelers, there is tremendous traffic jam. So I think this needs to be flagged, and also there is the alternative way of town planning is possible. That message, you should end with that. So that will give us, even the town planners, so they will also get that, because IMPRI's inputs are seriously observed and examined by the movers and shakers of the country. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Very good. Very good. Also, one or two photographs, more photographs of one with the children and one with the person with disability.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now we can have a presentation by Amrita ji. I'll share the screen. Just give me a moment.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. First of all, I want to thank IMPRI for giving me this chance to present my creative project today. This fellowship course is about ending gender-based violence. Throughout the sessions till now, we have enlightened ourselves about so many gender-based violences that have been occurring in India. A few things we all women experience in our daily lives, and some incidents have also shaken our minds. So today I got the opportunity to talk about gender-based violence, and through my creative project, I want to highlight a proposed solution to end this violence. This is a proposed, I'm saying, because I'm talking about a language system which I want to convey to others, which is not a meta language, but a language of emotions and love between two women, which is still a taboo in our society. In the outcome, and one important thing, I'm not talking about any lesbian relationship, it's just an emotional bond between two women. So in the outcome of the research of this fellowship, my main focus is the feminine language system through which women can bond with each other. I want to prove that there can be a language system through which women can connect with themselves. In my blog also, I talked about this, and I showed how two women can be in a filial relationship, not in enmity with each other, as this is one of the traits of the feminine language system. Self-love, self-introspection is another one, which is the topic of my creative project. And this self-love is not narcissism, where women do fancy with their own selves, positing themselves in a superior position with some egoistic nature. But self-love denotes love, empathy, and sympathy towards others. And here, knowing the self is very important, because we know that famous philosopher Socrates says, where subjective, that knowing thyself, where subjectivity is a male attribute only. But here, through this language system, I want to convey that this masculinity, this subjectivity can also be a woman's part. So feminine bonding, to talk about that, I have chosen some of the songs. Actually, these are the verse written by Nikita Gill, whose verse lines are conglomerate with songs. Yes, there are 4 poems actually, these 4 verse. Sorcery, from the ashes she became, you have become a forest, and me too. This together is called a song cycle, 4 poems by Nikita Gill, which convey the theme of feminine bonding, please stop here. Feminine bonding, self introspection, and self love, and self understanding. And these songs are sung by Melissa Dunphy, an Australian American composer. So there is a music video available on YouTube. After this I will share the link also, because the video is quite long and I don't think we will get time to play the video, whole video. So basically, the song cycle of 4 poems of Nikita Gill sets poetry by which, sorry, first drew attention for her works by publishing them on Instagram and Tumblr. Her writing often draws on her experiences as a woman of color, exploring themes such as trauma recovery, mental illness, feminism, and identity. So this first poem, the Sorcery, this talks about the self-introspection of women's experience after their trauma, like death experience. Understanding herself helps a woman to open her heart, which she could not express properly earlier. Ma'am, next slide, please. Yes, so this is the singer Melissa Dunphy. Next slide. Next slide. Yes, so this is the poem. So I am just explaining the poem, what Gill wants to convey through this poem about self-introspection. And the poem again, and the poem talks about women's experience after coming out from their trauma, like death experience. And understanding herself helps a woman to open her heart, which she could not express properly earlier. She has undergone the pathetic situations where her name is not given any priority, but with time, she has learned that her name is not a curse. She can utter her name loudly. She starts to love herself. She has now learned to love, which is a prohibited part of a woman's life. Looking at a mirror, she feels confident. So this is the summary of this poem, where she talks about self-understanding and how women can get confidence, and she can loudly utter her name. Next slide. Next slide is the next poem, that is From the Ashes She Became. Very interestingly, through this poem, Gill says that a woman always possesses the habit of giving. We know that. And before the fire, the woman was in the watery form. The water form of women before the creation of the fire was there. But this nature, this habit of giving, this nature of hers increases her ability to tolerate everything what is going on with them. So eventually she transforms herself into fire, which means metaphorically that she turns all her pain and exhaustion into strength. Next poem. Next slide. Next slide is You Have Become a Forest. This is very interesting. And nowadays also there are so many writers, there are so many books are coming out which which is talking about beyond eco-criticism, where women are connecting themselves with nature. And Nikita Gill has also done this. And this poem offers words of comfort and a celebration of growth to Sandhamisk melody. Now, this Sandhamisk melody, what I'm talking about, is mentioned, is the melody is used by the singer, not by Nikita Gill. When she was singing the song, the Dunphy, she used this melody, and this melody is always talks about some dark thing which is beyond the traditional, the ideology, which always goes against the traditional part, and in the society which is considered as a taboo, which is not easily accepted. And the Sandhamisk melody talks about this only. So the song means that by becoming a forest, a woman will have a strong personality with strong roots, and her strength will be her beauty. The negative surroundings are engulfed by her easily without complaint, which does not bother her much now. She transforms all these negativities into oxygen. The seeds which she was once with so many dominated characteristics are now dominating, who are sucking everything negative surrounded her. And the last poem, And when Nikita Gill wrote the first 3 poems, she did not write Me Too. So, but after when Dunphy was singing and she was composing this, it has been added by her, and it is called as an anthem of these earlier 3 songs, and it is the Me Too. The name of the poem is Me Too. Finally, the protest, it is a protest anthem which uses a plural voice, we, and is woven into a canon representing women's voices joined together in solidarity and mutual empowerment. This empowerment is the source of strength which can bring revolution. With this self-understanding and empowerment, women can lessen patriarchy. And here, the words Me Too recur the theme of self-upliftment, where they can engage themselves in the feminine language system and the subjective part of women. So in the conclusion, next slide, please. Next slide. Yes. So the conclusion, I want to say that the conclusion may be constructive and solid if the language is spoken by women eventually. So I want to conclude this creative project by saying that we all need to understand, and therefore the writers, the poets, especially the contemporary writers, the poets, the song makers, composers, they are also conveying this theme, that this enmity between two women, which I think in every sessions we talk that women are not of friends of each other. So this can be removed easily if there is some language system of women, because the language system which exists in the society which is not a women's language. And these things I will gradually show in my whole research paper. But here I focused on the self-love part, and this language system is this self-love is a part of the language system. So if we understand this feminine language system, and there is the two bond between women, between mother and daughter, between two sisters, and between any women, it does not necessary to be sisters or to be any blood relation always. It can be emotional bonding, it can be the filial love. Then gradually this violence can be summed up. We can come to the end of this violence, because if we are united, then this patriarchy cannot hover us on us much to dominate us, to make us powerless or inferior, which is still going on in our society. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amritaji, for such a powerful feminist literary criticism. I feel jealous of you. I am trained in economics and my experience is in women's movement, but you have such a strong, the way you are using words mainly for empowerment of women, and especially the question of solidarity and women's the self-identity, self-concept, and the respect for dignity, integrity. I think these are the values which we have constantly hammered in this course and which you have brought in your listening. So are you going to have a full-fledged paper?
Yes, ma'am. The paper we are going to submit at the end of this course, there I am going to explain all these things because there is some psychological part also, there is some ontological part also, which can prove that two women or this language system can be built up. So I'm going to prove
and also,
all these
I think
things.
you can also include perspective of feminist literary criticism.
Yes,
over last 50 years. How
there's a French critic, Louise Irigaray. Her point of view I will put, and using that theoretical framework, I will prove this.
Yeah. But are you going to mention Gayatri Spivak and some of the Indian feminist literary post-colonial authors?
Yes.
Thank you. Congratulations. Really, I'm so happy with your hard work and
thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we have our next presentation by Nandini Sharma. Nandini ji, you can go ahead with your presentation now.
Am I visible?
Yes. Perfectly visible.
Okay. All right, Purvi, I sent you a link to the Google Slides presentation via mail.
Via mail you have sent it? Actually, I
Yes.
haven't received it. Give me a minute. I need to check. Can we go
All
ahead
right.
with the next presentation? Then after this, we can introduce.
Okay. Meanwhile, while you're looking at it, I have two modes of presentation for creative presentation. First, I had to begin with a poetry that I wrote, and then I would have started with the presentation. So if it's all right
Yes.
with you, I can start with the poetry by then.
Yes, yes, go
Yeah.
ahead with the poetry. All right.
All right. So, hello everyone. My name is Nandini Sharma. I'm a MA Sociology student at Department of Sociology, University of Rajasthan. I'm attempting to express how gender-based violence among adolescents can play a role in the socialization process of individuals. And to begin with that, I would like to give you an example of a poetry that I wrote as an adolescent while I was facing certain identity crisis in terms of how people saw me and my gender as a sports person. I used to pursue sports. I'm a former national level athlete, and my expression of my own gender was a little bit different from how the society expected me to behave. And during that time, I was facing a lot of identity crisis. Henceforth, to relieve that mental turmoil out of me, I wrote a certain poetry. I would like to present that poetry to you. It's in Hindi, so if anybody faces issue, I'll be glad to share the translation later on. The title of the poetry is Soch. ना वो हकदार बनी, ना ही गद्दार बनी, ना ही प्यार बनी, ना एक दरार बनी, बस वक्त को बीतते देखा उसने, बेगाने को जीतते देखा उसने, बस वक्त को बीतते देखा उसने, बेगाने को जीतते देखा उसने, एक आयत की इबादत थी बस जहन में, ना समझ वो वजूद भी था एक वहम में, एक आयत की इबादत थी जहन में, ना समझ वो वजूद भी था एक वहम में, लकीरों को कोसना अब छोड़ दिया था उसने, लकीरों को कोसना अब छोड़ दिया था उसने, जिंदगी का रुख अब मोड़ दिया था उसने, मौसम की हवाएं जो बदलने लगी थी, मौसम की हवाएं जो बदलने लगी थी, ठोकरों से अब वो संभलने लगी थी, एक जुनून जो उसके सर पर सवार थी, एक जुनून जो उसके सर पर सवार थी, किस्मत नहीं कुर्बत पर अब जान निसार थी, किस्मत नहीं कुर्बत पर अब जान निसार थी, एक नई सोच अब उसे लुभाने लगी थी, खुद से मोहब्बत अब वो निभाने लगी थी. So this poetry displays the kind of turmoil I used to experience as an adolescent, just trying to explore my own gender identity, which was kind of different from how the society expected me to behave. And in that process, I had learned and realized that uh, recognizing how you choose to express your own gender was very important, and people will always find a way to uh, direct how you behave. The terminology for it is called gender policing, and in the entire process, I think it was important for every individual to understand that loving yourself and being confident about how you express yourself has nothing to do with how the society wants you to be. If it doesn't hurt anybody around you, I think gender expression is something that you should definitely take into account according to how you would like to express yourself. Now, I would like to explain through my presentation if it is ready. Purvi?
Nandini, we haven't received your presentation yet. Actually, I checked the mail but couldn't find it. Would you be able to send it again? And in the meanwhile, we can go ahead with it.
Email.
Yeah, sure. You meanwhile, you can just start with the next
Can you-
participant.
We would
Can
not
you
be
email
able-
it to Priyanka ji?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Nandini ji, which email
Yes.
ID did you share it on?
IMPRI, the one learning at IMPRI.
Learning at IMPRI, and did you mention a subject line as well?
Yes, I did.
Can you just say that once?
All right, just give me a second. I'll try to send it again. And if the time is ticking, maybe the other
Yeah.
person can start with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think forward.
All right, so we have our next presentation by Rifat. Rifatji, are you here with us?
But I think about her poetry also, if the people, because it starts with pathos, but it also has determination. So I think you end it with optimistic note that you are not completely destroyed by this kind of misogyny, discrimination, and male domination, but you are optimistic. And that's what is very important, that we don't get completely defied the way Maya Angelou said, that whatever may happen, I rise. So that's very important in your poetry.
Yes, so
Yeah,
can
go
we
ahead,
have the
please.
presentation now by Rifatji? Rifatji, are you able to unmute yourself, or if you are facing any problem, we can go ahead with the next presentation and later we can take yours.
Purvi, I think we can present.
No, she's
Nandini.
able to speak, ma'am. She's able to speak. Rifatji?
No, I'm saying we can go ahead with
With
Nandini's presentation.
Nandini Sharma, because there'll be
Okay.
continuity. Yeah, Nandini Sharma.
Okay, no worries. Give me a minute. Priyanka ma'am, have you sent the presentation to me? I haven't.
Nandini, you haven't mentioned any link in the email that you've sent. Can you reshare?
Nandini, would you be able to share the presentation by yourself? It wouldn't be possible?
Yes, sure, absolutely. I have it open.
Yeah, please do that. That would
Yeah.
be wonderful.
Okay, so I'm so
Just share,
sorry I
no?
sent the wrong email by mistake. All right, I'll be
Yeah.
presenting.
So there is a share, no? Green
Okay,
icon
thank you,
saying
ma'am.
share.
Can everybody see my screen?
Yes. Just make it in a
All
slide.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So this is my presentation. I hope everybody can hear me as well.
Yes.
Yes.
So okay. My topic was gender-based violence in adolescence, the unseen scars. So as I expressed through the poetry, there is a lot of turmoil that goes on into the minds of adolescents while identifying their own gender identity, because it is in the process of being formed. And during that time, a lot of factors play a role in making them the victims of gender-based violence. So if a person doesn't know how to express their own gender identity, of course, they will not be able to fit into the gender expectations that the people have for them. So why was my focus on adolescents? So adolescents live in the shadow of gender-based violence, not just as victims, but also as crucial agents of change. So I believe if we target adolescents in terms of how to cater to gender-based violence, I think a lot of problems, the future problems, can be mitigated as well if they know how to tackle with it. And adolescents are, of course, the most vulnerable sections towards gender-based violence when it comes to being victims, and they can only be the change makers of the entire social pattern and cycle of abuse for the same. For my entire research, the methodology of data collection I used was a survey questionnaire. It is currently under the process of collecting data, and hopefully I'll be completed with it by the beginning of May. And my sampling method was snowball sampling. Okay. So the discourse presented through this presentation is that the entire process of socialization that a person goes through while they are adolescents shapes their entire idea about how society is functioning. And there are a lot of factors that can be utilized to actually I don't think that would be sounding very appropriate, but manipulating a person into knowing what is right and what is wrong, and brainwashing them out of what all toxic things and wrong things that the hegemonic masculinity has taught them. Hegemonic masculinity refers to the toxic ideas of behavior, practices, and everything that the society teaches individuals, and it is a sort of extension to patriarchy, the toxic patriarchy. Okay. So my entire idea for taking up adolescence is that precaution is better than cure, and addressal will be better than redressal. So if we address the problem in the first hand, it will be better to redress it later on. Of course, the problem that is existing right now can only be solved from the stages that we take up them from. But in terms of mitigating them, in terms of future references, I think it is important for us to address it from the roots of it. So there are the social machinery of violence constitutes of four basic factors. One of them is hegemonic masculinity. It is by Connell, the scholar Connell. And the second one is gender socialization, which is the way the society teaches oneself to behave according to the gender expectations. And it is a set pattern that an individual has to follow in terms of uh, having legitimized themselves in a certain gender identity. This is one of the major factors that makes an individual goes through turmoil. Okay. An individual goes through turmoil, especially when it comes to LGBTQ community. Another factor is gender policing, which is the rigid guidelines that the society sets and disciplining. Yes, please. Okay.
Prakaji,
And
please mute yourself.
okay. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, yes, you
Yes,
are.
yes, you are
Slight
audible.
Okay.
disturbance from
There
our
is,
Okay,
there is
all
a
right.
disturbance. Yeah, there is a disturbance.
All right, all right. Thank you. The next factor is gendered language. Gendered language is basically something that the slurs that you use, which are gendered. So, for example, the phrases that we use for men, that आदमी को रोना नहीं चाहिए, मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता, or for girls, it's like Sundar, Sushil, Kanya, which depicts a certain kind of qualities that we associate with different genders. I think gendered language also plays a certain kind of role in inculcating when and to whom gender-based violence can be projected, and addressing it will and might actually induce changes into the condition of gender-based violence that we are facing as a society right now. So, in terms of media portrayals of gender-based violence on adolescents, here are certain examples that I have added. Anybody who has access to these platforms should definitely watch this once. First is Bulbul. It is on Netflix, the 2020 version, and it also depicts take on child marriage and gender-based violence through a feminist lens. The other examples are also stated in front of you. I'll share this PPT for your reference later on. I am running short of time, so I'll just proceed. And other media platforms and other videos that I came across in terms of understanding what is gender-based violence among adolescents are mentioned here. Anybody who's interested into learning more about this particular topic in terms of adolescents and how the entire society is trying to mitigate these problems can access to these videos. I will, of course, share these later on. This was it about my entire presentation. I hope you like it, and I'm really welcoming any sort of outputs and insights that you might share. Thank you, everyone. And I'm also so sorry for the disturbances.
No. Your training in social science has helped you, and it's a very good that you are also like us. We believe in sharing knowledge, so you also have done it. And all the theories on gender-based violence and some of the work which has happened, and creative expressions in cinema and YouTube, that also you have shared. And you have made a very analytically, very robust and theoretically grounded presentation. Your motivation started from your personal experience, which is very important because the passion which you have about the subjects. So I am going to write an academic paper. And you have presented poetry, but are you going to submit for anthology? What would be your contribution?
Okay, so I will be writing a research paper based on the quantitative research that I'm conducting. And as I mentioned,
Yeah.
it is a survey questionnaire method. So as soon as I get the results and a satisfactory amount of responses, I'll be starting with my entire research article.
And your poetry can also go in the box, no problem.
Oh, absolutely.
Because
absolutely.
we have anthology has everything. So both the things are
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time.
Thank you so much, Nandini. That was indeed a wonderful presentation. All right, so we have Rifati now. She would like to share her research work with us. Rifati, you can unmute and you can just turn on your video and share with us.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Actually, I'm traveling from my work. I had a training today, and am I audible? Yeah. So, my apologies. So, there are two ideas, the creative idea that I was talking about. I hope everyone is aware of a I was pretty occupied, so I was not able to prepare the PPT. But yeah, I am very much eager to share the idea that I want to share with the fellows around me. So I hope everyone around me has watched a movie called Do Patti. So the movie was about two twin sisters. So the movie has very portrayed it in a very the cascaded the situation of an individual in a very beautiful manner, and which resonated the situation of an individual who had went through the situation. So so the thing was that I just the idea of my research or the creative idea is I want to show how gender-based violence, gender-based violence, is not something which exists within the couple. It is something which disturbs the entire dynamics of the family. It's be it the paternal people, be it the maternal people, and be it the offspring. The children are the most vulnerable and the most disturbed part of this section because they are directly witnessing the violence and they are not able to do anything. So in this movie, how it was presented, it was pretty good, and the way it was the one of the child was experiencing differences from her own sibling, and later on in her life, she had experienced the same thing with her husband as well. So it was mentioned in my blog also, that when a girl experiences or witnesses such actions from her family, she believes that these things are meant to be, these things are normal. So this is how it was presented. But it is not normal to have such thing because these experiences will later on definitely make an individual have self-doubt, finding difficulty to settle with some romantic partner or to trust with anyone. So there are several researchers also that support the evidences that children or the adolescent experiencing all these things might face difficulty in their future relationship and in their life. Yeah. So this is what I had an idea for creative, and the same was something that I wanted to reflect for my full-fledged the research proposal that I had shared with the organization. So there I was I was planning to have a basic hits questionnaire from the wife section, that are they experiencing that the husband is abusing or husband is hitting them, and my study is something which is a long term. So it is like looking for a uh, long term impact of violence on child, be it a male or a female child, how they are perceiving the world. Because when it comes to counseling or psychology of people, because all these days we are experiencing the different kind of dating patterns that are experiencing, because everyone is so much insecure about to get into a relationship or a venture like wedding, and they're apprehensive that what if they enter into the venture like this, how their partner would behave, will they be able to get out of that relationship. And there's several, recently an engineer from Meerut committed a suicide. Prior to that, an software engineer in Gurgaon did the same. So there are several different patterns that are existing in the society, and we need to address them. So how the family, how was the family dynamics? What are the kind of exposure provided to those people? So my idea is something that I want to and I definitely need uh, insights from the seniors here, like how I can proceed in this direction. Thank you. Thank you so much for the time, and thank you so much.
So is it going to be a film review or a sociological study or the research-based study? Or the
Ma'am,
opinion of people on this particular film? How you started with the commenting on film and then
yeah. Yeah, so ma'am, for creative idea, my idea was to have a review on the movie and to present a view as a psychologist or a community, a professional working in community and experiencing the similar event. So it's a review of a movie for the creative project. And for a long term, the research project that we were talking about, I want suggestions from the faculty, like how I can, like, this is my idea, how I can proceed in this direction.
But there is no long term, no deadlines are given. So will you be able to write a research proposal, a research paper in the deadline given by IMPRI? That's your answer. Because anthology is time bound, we have to have get your submission before it is published. So when you say long term, what do you mean?
So can I submit the review on the existing literature? Like there's several research
Yeah,
from,
that is fine.
yeah. So yeah, I'll be having a review on the movie, presenting the view of a mental health professional to capture the long-term effects.
Okay.
And then when I'll be doing a research with reviewing the existing studies, then I can correlate the, like if time allows, then I can correlate with the results which I found there. Yes. Thank you so much for.
Yeah, okay. So this you will submit before the deadline. Your review
Yes.
you will submit, and whether opinion of psychologist that you will submit. Okay.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much. We have our next presentation by Bhakti Gaikwad. Bhakti ji, you can go ahead with your presentation now.
Yeah.
Is Bhakti ji here present with us? I cannot locate her. All right, we can move ahead with our next presentation by Namrita Kulkarni. Namrita ji, you can go ahead with your presentation now.
Yeah. Please introduce yourself, Namrita ji.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm just sharing the screen. I guess
And
I'm
also
just
open your video also. Yeah,
no,
your
no,
video
ma'am. I'm afraid I cannot open the video because past 15-20 minutes I'm trying to open the video and check it. It's
No, we can
it's
see
like
it, ma'am. Absolutely, we understand the concern. It's
Okay,
fine for
don't.
this presentation.
yeah.
Okay. Fine. Yeah.
So I think my screen is visible.
Yeah. Your screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm Dr. Namrita Kulkarni, and I'm based at KLE JGMM Medical College, Kahir University, Hubli, Karnataka, as you can see from the slide. And
Yeah.
basically, from past 5 years, I've been working on gender-based violence, and I am into now. Uh, I have a funded project with the Kahir University itself on capacity building of the healthcare providers. So, against how to respond to gender-based violence in the community. So that is my funded project, which is going on parallelly. This is one of the proposal I have submitted to the IMPRI as a part of this fellowship. So I will be actually briefing about the same, if it is fine. I'm not a very
Fine.
good artistic on, or I don't, as I had discussed with Purvi and I had inquired before itself, I don't have any poetic or anything of that sort. So this is what I'll be presenting.
Fine. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. So this is a proposal on knowledge, attitudes, and perceptions towards the gender-based violence assessment among the healthcare professionals. This is a multi-zonal Indian cross-sectional study This is actually, this I have designed it after I have done a pilot study on the healthcare professionals with the same KP towards the gender-based violence in Dharwad district in our university. Actually, I did that first as a pilot study, and now I have designed for a pan-India study. So I think about first two slides are about how what is gender-based violence and all. We all have been discussing it past few weeks, so I don't think there's need to again repeat the same. So this is all the statistics, what is going on, and then this is important here. Why healthcare professionals should be knowledgeable about gender-based violence? One is the ethical responsibility they bear or they have. Second are the health implications related to the or the consequences which occur after the gender-based violence is inflicted on a survivor. And then frontline position. See, the healthcare providers whoever are they, whether they are in the community like the frontline workers, ASHA, Anganwadi workers, ANMs, or the ones who are located in the center, the primary healthcare centers or the community public health centers, what we say, the community health centers or the district hospitals or the medical college, wherever they are, anybody, whoever is facing gender-based violence, the first thing what she does is she will go to a healthcare facility than approaching for legal or any police station. This is what is the general uh, idea behind the study. So they are in the frontline position and they have a unique opportunity to identify and support these survivors. And then the social change. They also are able to bring about some change in the society. They can influence the norms and attitudes of the people also. So healthcare professionals, they occupy a unique position as caretakers and advocate for individual well-being. That is why this we have designed this study. So what exactly is the role of healthcare professionals in GBV response? One is the identification, like in this study, we want to assess how can they identify GBV, whether they know, like, suppose there's one lady who is coming to the clinic with repeated fractures or repeated bruises, and she's not able to give any history directly, like, then a doctor or a staff treating her should actually be in a position to suspect that she might be undergoing some violence, and that is why she is coming repeatedly for the similar symptoms. So that is what we want to assess from the healthcare professionals, whether they have that idea of suspicion, suspecting what are the symptoms of GBV and how they have to screen. Second is the treatment part. Third is the support. If they, if at all they are going to identify the GBV survivors, what they are going to do next, whom they are going to refer, where they are going to refer, how are they going to support the survivors. That is one more point. And then documentation. Documentation would definitely help in the legal proceedings. If in a worser case, if the lady wants to go to wants to avail legal support and all. So that is the main reason why we have designed this study. And then exactly the rationale will be the first point. They are the first point of contact. We want to identify areas for actually targeting the trainings and educations, and also understanding the potential biases affecting the survivors. And this study we have designed this will be conducted across 6 zones of India so that we can generalize the findings also. And the primary objectives are to assess the knowledge of the healthcare professionals in India regarding gender-based violence. Actually, what happened is when I went to some of the medical colleges for collaboration, when I met the HODs of certain departments, I don't want to take the names, they were very much normalizing the gender roles also, and they were like, why should we actually do this when we sometimes in our houses itself it is so much normalized. This is what I could get the response. So they were not ready to collaborate with me on the gender-based violence projects because of the same reason. And that's why we actually thought that we will do a survey regarding the knowledge what they have, what exactly they understand by gender-based violence. Understand the second objective is understanding healthcare professionals' attitudes and perceptions towards the GBV victims, and then identifying beliefs on causes, consequences, and healthcare roles in addressing GBV. As you can see from the slide, the design is a cross-sectional study across the 6 zones of India. It's for a 12-month duration from the ethics approval date. I've already got the ethics approval from the committee. And then the sample size is actually 385 we have calculated. But then we have rounded it off to 600 so that we can equally take from all the 6 zones of India. Inclusion will be MBBS graduates and the postgraduates who are actually working in the hospitals, the private doctors, and with their consent. And this study will also use a convenient sampling to reach the participants across 6 zones. It will be collected from doctors of various states, and the questionnaire will be distributed online through the WhatsApp and emails. So the study instrument here we are using is a slightly modified, pre-validated questionnaire, which is developed by IPPF and PEHO, that is Pan American Health Organization, and we have slightly modified it to the Indian context. And then ethics of approval has already been obtained. Then distribution, as I told you, it will be a Google form which will be shared via the professional networks, emails, and WhatsApp groups. And analysis would be done on a SPSS software. So the participants will be asked for the initial informed consent, and once they give consent, they'll be presented with the questionnaire. Outcomes, as expected, like the knowledge and attitude assessment, then improved healthcare preparedness, because we are also asking questions on the preparedness, like how are they prepared to identify and support the survivors, and the policy recommendations also. So this is what we are expecting from the study. And the takeaways, as we all know, once we are done with the study, as I told you, ma'am, this study is actually a extended version of my pilot study. In the pilot study results have already been out, and I have sent one publication to IJCM also, wherein we actually, this is a small part of that. I couldn't actually, it's sorry for the font size because I couldn't break it up. This study, what we have sent for the presentation is about the preparedness, training needs and preparedness of the healthcare professionals. So what we had actually some 168 participants from our university, all were doctors, and and based on the results, what we came to know is like they never had any, only some 10% of them had training on gender-based violence. So there is much need on trainings of gender-based violence. And what we did is we actually went through various textbooks and the curricula of the medical education, especially the postgraduate curricula. And from that, we came to know this is a table which gives us the idea about what topics are covered in which curricula and what it is lacking. For example, the community medicine or the public health, it lacks a comprehensive focus on gender-based violence in the postgraduate curricula. Only a few departments mention the topics on gender-based violence, like forensic. If you can see, the topics covered are like examine, assess legal implications, and prepare reports on certificates in cases of physical assault and all. They lack the in-depth coverage of the psychological aspects. And there is like, we have actually recommended that the GBV has to be integrated into the medical curriculum, be it a UG curriculum or a PG curriculum. And on the same, our university is also, I am also one of the part in it, like we are working with the Sehat organization, and we are trying to train our doctors for taking action against GBV, like what I told you, identifying in the routine practice. So this is all what I have for today. And as I once we are done with the, I'm in the process of making a Google form for the questionnaire as of now. Once it is done, I will shoot out the questionnaire to all the groups, professional networks, and through emails and WhatsApp. So this is what is our future plan. This is my future plan as of now. Ma'am, I'm not able to hear you anything.
Yeah. I'm familiar with, because I am in the program development committee of Sehat. So
Yes, ma'am.
the whole research process which you have explained is familiar, but I wanted to know that what will be your contribution for the anthology which IMPRI will prepare. Are you going to click, at least blog you can do, because this is a multicentric study. It is going to take a lot. It is also teamwork. But
Yes, ma'am.
individually for this particular fellowship, what will be your contribution? Will it be a couple of case studies or a research paper or review of literature, exhaustive review may have done also, or any blog
A
about your
blog I
first
have
time
already
based on
submitted, ma'am, and I think it's
that I've
published also.
it's
Yes,
there in
ma'am.
all the social media.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, but based on your pilot, you can think some of the hunches that you have, the questions that you have can you make a chapter out of it? Based
Definitely,
on your
ma'am. I
pilot.
can. Yes, ma'am.
So
I'll
even
try
on the
to.
pilot, but you may not give the definite recommendation, but you can say that these are the hunches you have and these are the questions my pilot raises.
Yes, ma'am. I'll
That would
try
also
to
be
do that,
useful.
and in fact, I'll just
And
try to contact you personally and ask you how to go about ahead.
yeah, even if you can write in the name of field diary, because field diaries are also very useful.
Okay,
So
okay, ma'am.
whatever
Fine.
field work you have done, just
Yes, ma'am.
that also, if you can put it in a structured way, that will also be useful for this,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
so
Fine.
many, even in EPW, you can see so many field diaries are published, no, by the researchers.
Yes,
So
yes,
that,
ma'am.
yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Very
Thank you.
exhaustive work. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
excellent.
you so much, ma'am, for your time and for a wonderful presentation. Now we have Lydia. Miss Lydia? Yeah, Lydia ji, you can go ahead with your presentation now.
Yes, hi, good evening. Yeah, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Lydia and I work as an assistant professor teaching journalism and media related subjects in Gurgaon. And yeah, before I'd ask Ms. Purvi to share share the screen. I just see that how I ended up here taking this fellowship and, having an interest in this fellowship. It's just that I've always, growing up, it always I had a brother and my mom. We were actually three siblings, one elder sister, one brother, and myself. So when fish used to be served, the bigger piece used to be given to my brother. So that then was, I used to ask, what exactly is the reason? Why is he getting the bigger piece? So my mom would be like, he's a boy. He needs more energy and strength and all of that. I let it go. Things like that went forward. And it took me, let's say, 28 years until I started understanding what exactly it is to see certain things through the lens of male gendered perspective, rather than, having your own identity. So then from then started a lot of, searching my own soul for that, and trying to understand from very, very little context. Even then I did not understand or understood the need for actually learning gender studies or knowing more about it. So then came this right now, and from then on, I wanted to know more about it. And so yeah, now that this is there, I'm actually contributing a research article. So my creative project would not be so great. It's just me explaining my research article and what I'm planning to do. Okay. Now, as we know, Kerala, I'm a Malayali and I come from Kerala. So Malayalam movies, as a very major media narrative, it is actually known for portraying a lot of strong female roles as of now. Okay, I'm not talking about 90s. I'm talking about the current scenario. And let's say the last 10 years. So everyone thinks, or the majority thinks that, we've got very good, portrayal of women gender in the movies. Now, I would like to, through my research paper, I would like to draw a contrast between the real and the reality of what happens in a film industry versus what is being depicted towards the mass. Yeah, so Kerala's film industry, it's known for its progressive cinema, but it has long concealed the deep-rooted gender disparities and systemic silence around workplace harassment. And this actually became known to everyone in 2017 when high-profile abduction and assault of a popular actress, it exposed the underbelly of a misogyny that has been always been shown in Malayalam cinema. We try to say in gender studies also, there is we explore systems and the structures and the cultural patterns. So when it came to structural patriarchy, how it still dominates and how social stigma and institutional pushback is there, we could actually see from 2017 onwards. Okay, so the reporting rates in Kerala, even though it was relatively high when it came to gender-based violence, but the reporting was just the beginning. People still spoke about how women are just, there are unfortunately, there's a term known as feminities in Malayalam for feminists. So that is what is being called to all the women who actually support feminism or who actually raises their voice against systemic oppression. So now my study on this was, the case of a Malayalam film industry and the cultural background in it. So with this, we had an introduction of something known as WCC, that is known as Women in Cinema Collective. Okay, right after this incident, many actresses, very well-known actresses, came together and they formed this collective. Now, it positioned itself. It positioned itself not just as a response group, but as a long-term advocate for gender equity. Then, seeking to create systemic change within and beyond the industry. And their manifesto actually called for gender justice, equal pay, and safety at work. Now, can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah, so some of my research objectives was to actually look at how we can look at gender-based violence and how the interventions has happened in WCC specifically, and how that actually is progressing from 2017 till 2025. Again, unfortunately, even after WCC was founded in 2017, as recent as last week, we have had a case where, a Malayalam actress was misbehaved with, and how people outright, they're coming in and, they're coming in support of the male actor and saying that, oh, well, he was under the influence of something, and that is why otherwise he always stands for, a different notion of how women should be protected and things like that. And if you look at the comment section, we can actually see how many people are going against this Malayalam actress who spoke against this person. So My research actually looks at the WCC strategies, how it has impacted legally, publicly, and cultural interventions, and then how effective it was, the influence on policies and laws, and the challenges that they're still facing. So that can be, socially, institutional, and political resistance. So my methodology would be, I'll be looking at different literature reviews, and then I'll be taking a case study approach. And I'm also thinking of doing a comparative analysis in regarding with Time's Up and Women in Film. Now, Time's Up, I know, has some issues, but whatever they have done so far, I will be looking at it until now. And I think I will be looking at all those different things, and I will be trying to bring in a research paper. So that is what it actually, I want to bring in forth the irony that is actually shown. In real, there is something that is shown as a strong female role, and people promoting a stronger female role, while in reality it is not so. And a state that actually boasts very less number of cases, or higher percentage of reporting cases, but still the notions and how the patriarchal mindset, that is still not gone, and it still promotes. So I'd like to look at all of those and try to write a qualitative research article. Yeah, I think I made
Lydia, it's a really commendable job, really brave on your part to take up this topic. I think the founders of Women in Cinema, we were sharing the platform in one plenary, and she said that they are looking out for younger and younger women. She entered the cinema at the age of 14. By the time she was 20, she was redundant. Then she did not waste her life. She went and did her MBA, and she was giving a personal testimony. So that is one very important thing, because younger, globally also, I think some of the trends that you need to, that younger women are easy to control than the experienced women. So that logic which is there from Hollywood to Bollywood, and we saw all these women who have joined the Me Too movement, they gave their testimony after 30 years. They were very young, and they came from sheltered environment. So I think that aspect also has to come out, that why teenagers are looked out by all these established fellows. And second thing, the HEMA committee report, and all these women who have also shared their experiences of when the inquiry was going on, the misogyny of the members, committee members, no? They also had a very the kind of questions which they were asked, very humiliating, that did you provoke the advances, and burden of the episode or tragedy was thrown on women. And they were also given advice how to dress up and how to behave, and which kind of socializing they should have, and what should be the code of conduct for them in the party, or whether they should drink or not. All sorts of things, moral policing kind of. Yeah, that will happen. So I think that too you can bring out, that double standards of morality, the sexual morality that is existing in the everywhere. That is also there very much in this thing. In fact, one can see that when women are portrayed as empowered, those who are misogynist or predator, they get better kick for this women, because we saw in Gujarat also, in Rajkot, a girl who spoke on Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao and got a district level prize. She was escorted by the principal. While returning, the same principal raped her, and it became the women's movement in Gujarat has taken it up. In fact, currently also there is a big convention going on in Dahod, which I'll be attending tomorrow. So I think that also happens, that they get the empowered woman how to teach her lesson. That I think came out even in that film, Manisha Koirala, how the British police tried to government to violate her sense of self-esteem and dignity. That also plays it's a perverse kind of pleasure which the predators get. So I think some of the psychological dimension also, if you can include in this, that will be useful even for the new entrants, what kind of safeguards they can have. Everyone likes to express. There is nothing wrong in joining seminar, media, whichever profession you want. The safety and security and respect for bodily integrity and dignity. It's a very important. You have taken up a very good topic. Yes.
Thank you so much for what a wonderful presentation. All right, so we have our next presentation by Ishratji. I'll be sharing the screen. Give me a moment.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am Ishrat Butul Nayak from Aligarh Muslim University. I am a research scholar and shall I start, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, I am working on the paper, The Intersection of Gender-Based Violence and Trauma Among Female Students at AMU College. And I am at the stage of questionnaire data collection. But today I was really tired from my thesis, all articles and all this. But I have the idea about the imaginary. I can say that is the imaginary. How our future, that means how our adolescent people, how they recognize what is going on, what is the forms of gender-based violence, how they recognize this, how they pledge that they will be against all that forms of violence. And I have prepared a project which is imaginary. Again, I am using it is imaginary. Yeah, in this, it is really a struggle, but the words are imaginative and it builds empathy. Next slide. Next, okay. Here there is emotive code, which is the backgrounds written by the adolescents for themselves. What are those? That they have experiences of injustice, dreams of equality, and personal growth. How education, art, and peer solidarity helped them to speak up, and how they promised to change makers. Next. There is also the quote here, which acts as a manifesto of voice and courage. Next. Introducing the fictional letters from three characters, or we can say three representative characteristics, which are a 14-year-old girl who resisted early marriage, a cured adolescent standing up by bullying, a boy confronting toxic masculinity. It says that themselves are someone they know in these stories. It is about making gender-based violence relatable and not distant. Next. There is a poem also. Dear future me. This is by adolescent. Remember the girl who cried in the washroom stall? That was me. But I write this with ink of courage. With every no, I said loud and clear. I became the voice I never heard. Let us raise the next generation with truth and kindness. Next. Policy connection. There is policy. This poem vulnerable, honest, and empowering. Your tone here should be soft but fierce. Policy connection. The purpose of this is expressed to action. what to do for the stopping of this gender violence, which is integrate gender-based education in school curriculum, gender clubs, safe space initiatives, train peer educators as youth advocates for change, link with some schemes like Saksham, Menstrual Health Mission, POXO workshops, showcase community, sensitization drives led by adolescent voices. Next. Vision emphasis the unity of transformation, a word where schools nurture change makers, not just learners. Next. Choosing point, they silence us in widespread tones called our fears, just broken bones, but we are fire, not fainting light. We spark, we speak, we dream, we stand, we fight in every voice, a battle won, a rising girl, a fearless son. This is our vow, our fair celebrate, to live, to speak, and never lie. Thank you.
Shredji, all this you have done it or you have taken from existing sources?
Man, these are existing sources. I am working on the another article that I have already shared, that is the intersection of gender-based violence and trauma among female students, for which I have already shared the Google questionnaire, and they are, yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, because this will create a copyright problem, because for each slide you have to give the source.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, today I do not have enough time, as
references.
this is the stage of submission, and next month I am going to submit my thesis. That is why I do not have enough time.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
So your paper, you gave the proper references of whatever sources you use, no? Give the references.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have our next presentation by Irma. Irma ji, can you present your presentation now?
Yeah,
we read your blog also.
yeah.
Very well.
Good evening, everyone. Where to share the slide?
You have no that. Can you see that green icon with the arrow? Can you do it
have
yourself?
you joined as a panelist?
She's just joined
she's
now, so she'll be able to access.
Yeah. Yes.
A minute.
Yeah.
I cannot see my PPT.
Can you see share? Have you seen that icon share with a green this thing square?
Yeah.
You can see my screen.
We can see it. Yeah. We can see it now.
So I
now
don't.
you have to open
I
your.
don't have much written
yeah.
on my slides.
We can see it.
I don't have much written on. Ma'am, is it visible?
Open. Only thing your PPT is not open. We can see your desktop.
Is it open now?
You have to click on your PPT. We can see the PPT which needs to be clicked.
Ma'am,
we are on your desktop.
Ma'am, I've clicked it.
We are on your desktop.
It's open now. Ma'am, I think there is a lag.
Now it's open. Yeah. Correct. So now you make it in a slideshow mode. It is in a working mode.
Just a minute, ma'am.
Yeah, we can see.
There is some network issue, I guess. Just a minute.
No, but earlier it was visible. It was in a working mode. It's okay working mode because the font size is big. No.
Just a minute, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, is it visible now?
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, kindly make it in slideshow. Perfect. Go ahead.
Fine. Perfect. Go ahead.
So good evening, everyone. And today I'll be talking about my own research work that I have done in my PhD. It's not a proper PPT presentation, but I'll be talking most, and just I have few pictures which is like taken consent from the pictures which I have taken from the people. So it's more like a poem also. So the title is We Walk, We Fall, We Rise, and it is the journey of Adivasi woman from Jharkhand. Hello everyone, and my name is Irma Kirketa, and I'm a PhD scholar from Tata Institute of Social Sciences. So I begin with like I want to tell you a story, not of one woman, but of many, of daughters, of sisters, mothers from the deep forest and the hills of Jharkhand. So women who walk miles with dreams in their hearts and burdens on their backs. So for generations, we lived off the land, but the land, once generous, has grown tired. Stripped by mining, deforestation, and broken promises, so we migrate. Not out of choice, but because we must survive. So women especially step forward from villages like Simdega, Gumla, and Khuti. They make their ways to cities like Delhi, Mumbai, and Hyderabad. Some go willingly, searching for dignity and work as housemaids, caregivers, cleaners, and others are lured, promised jobs, schools, and good homes. But the promises often turn into chains. Many girls never reach the jobs they promised. They are trafficked, sold like goods, forced into domestic servitude, no wages, no freedom. Sometimes even worse. They are beaten, raped, and made to believe they own their consent because of their rescue. So if they run, the system doesn't run with them. Police mock at them. Papers are never filed, agencies disappear. Families back home are left in the dark, unsure whether to grieve or wait. But here's the part of the story that must also be told. These women, they are not just victims, but are fighters. Organizations on the ground are helping, survivors are returning and speaking out. They are rebuilding their lives, some from collectives, becoming peer leaders, rescue workers. Some return to the cities, not in fear, but with new strength. They migrate again, but not on their terms, but now on their terms. They negotiate better wages, demand dignity, use mobile phones to stay connected, learn skills, form sisterhoods that protect each other on the journey. From pain has risen power. Migration remains a lifeline, a way to earn, to dream, to educate their children, but they now carry both caution and courage in their bags. Because Adivasi women from Jharkhand are not just migrating, they are reclaiming agency, reclaiming voice, and reclaiming future. Thank you.
Really powerful. Thank you very much. I think you should use this verses also in your research chapter. It's really powerful. And you have used they are the real women with faces. So I think that enhances the credibility of your work. And you have shown them both the green reality and how women are collectively fighting. So that's
Yes, ma'am. These are the
very
pictures
empowering.
of the collectives, which I took
You
photo
can
in
use them.
Delhi.
Yeah. So the acknowledgement and the credit goes to you. So you can write that in the photograph.
These are a few of the pictures, ma'am. This was an anti-liquor movement in a village of Simdega. And this is one photo which I took in 2018 during my MPhil, while she was, she was struggling for work. And 2024, last year, I took this photo while she was working in a beauty parlor. So these are all migrants also, and also, survivors of human trafficking.
So they have association, SHG or union?
They have association, ma'am. They have this domestic worker welfare sangathan in Delhi.
It's a registered body.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. It's a general body meeting. Very good. Excellent. Even your blog is also so
Thank you, ma'am.
good. Very good picture.
And these were all my respondents during my PhD work. So they had some
They're so
function in the
confident.
college.
So much of dignity and confidence that you can see.
Yes. And I also, asked them that if I can, because I was also willing to, take some videos, but I couldn't take it. But I asked them their consent, like if I can someday, I can use your photos to do something. And really, this program gave me this opportunity. Like till afternoon, I didn't had any plan to do. I had just the write up. So this was the last moment addition I did.
This makes it more powerful. And look, they are looking straight in the eye. No? So that's very important. It's the empowerment and confidence no? They have. None of them have lowered their eye. They all are looking straight. That itself shows how confident they are because of the collective.
All right, I guess we can move ahead with the next presentation. Thank you so much, Irmaji. That was a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
And we can actually see the hard work that you have put in. All right, so we have our next creative project presentation by Ruchiji. Ruchiji, you can go ahead with your creative project now.
Hi, everybody. Let me share my screen. Can you hear me all?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yes, we can hear you. And if it's fine for you, please kindly turn on your video.
Just a moment. Let me first share my screen. Now, I don't know how to start the video from here, so just bear with me for a minute.
Then you have to just click it. You have to click on it. Your video is there on the screen. What do you think you have to click?
Is it? Can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you as well as the link.
Okay, all right then. So I will just briefly tell you a little bit about what I'm doing. This is a workplace sexual harassment in India topic in the retail sector and the role of AI surveillance and challenges women face despite legal protections. So I have made it's a song that I have made, and it's about like in India the retail sector and the AI surveillance systems silently monitor every move, but do they truly protect? So this song, that is The Eyes That Watch, Voices That Rise, explores the reality of workplace sexual harassment hidden behind the facade of technology. It calls for human accountability, legal protection, and the rising voices of workers who refuse to remain silent. So in a world where silence is surveilled and shadows whisper control, the brave choose to speak. This is the echo seen, heard, and unforgotten. So now I'm just playing the video. All right, this is it.
You have made this video? Okay.
A voice that sleeps where silence grows dangerously. Oh, we're seen. dance, but it's all too quiet. Voices lost in the storm and riot. Oh, we'll slow it back. A world where we're safe, where we're truly
Thank Your verses are really powerful, and I think this is a new dimension that you have brought out about how the surveillance system is only for the profit and only for the monitoring the activities, not creating safety for the people who are employed. So I think that comes out very well.
Because,
But this
I've
video
also
is made by
noticed-
you.
Yeah.
Have you made this film?
Yes.
Very good. So you have a training in filmmaking.
Yes, as script writing. Actually, I'm also doing my PhD. So we are, always exploring new tools and, new stuff to do things because there is so much to do. So this is one of them.
So you are in media studies. Are you in media
Well,
studies?
no, actually, I am a student of architecture and I am doing my PhD in design. So the design related topic that I'm using is digital technologies in retail spaces. Though it is globally, but I'm only focusing India now because then it becomes really vast.
So editing is also now done, or this is the raw currently what you have shown me, because your verses are very powerful, but that the seamless flow that the film needs to have.
Yes,
That one doesn't see. Yeah, because there are actual human beings and actual scenario, and then in between you have artificial intelligence dependent images also. So it's going to be like that.
Thank you.
So you are going to edit, or you're going to, this is the final version.
Well, this is one of the creative works that was done, though I've written a research paper also on this. And I've done my surveys and other things also. I've sent it to Purvi. I think they must have on the learning platform.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
And this one, will it be on YouTube?
Well, I'll put it on YouTube. I'll put it on YouTube.
So share the link with us. So
yes, definitely. Also, I'll post it on Instagram.
Yeah. Acha, it's already posted on Instagram.
No, I've just finished. I finished just 10 minutes before the conference started, so I'm going to post it. Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And singing you have done? Who has done the singing?
Yeah, singing. Well, actually, I had sung, but then I changed it to AI voice.
Acha, this is AI.
Yeah. So it's not bad. It's a new thing, isn't it?
No, it is melodious.
Thank you.
And it is also that whole lilting way of singing that itself. It also goes with the theme, of sexual harassment. The pathos come out.
Thank you so much. That was such a wonderful song. Please kindly share us, share with us the link. Yeah, we would love to listen it again. All right. So thank you so much for your patience. We have our just last presentation for today. It will be by Sheetal Sharma. Sheetalji, you can go ahead with your presentation now.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Yeah.
So I think I have made a little mistake because I have not prepared my creative project on the research that I'm doing. But I can speak on my research as well because I have my blog article present.
So if we have enough time, I can do both, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'll go ahead with my research article first. So I have my blog, I'll share that and try to get my views across. So is my screen visible?
No.
Is it visible? Hello?
Yeah.
Purvi?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible. It's visible.
Okay. So the research that I'm going to be doing is on climate change and its role in driving gender-based violence. So when we think about climate change and gender-based violence, these are the two terms that don't ring a bell when either of them are discussed. Like if we are talking about climate change, gender-based violence will not even be the fifth thing that comes to mind. But there have been increasing incidents that climate change is exacerbating gender-based violence. So first of all, let's see what climate change is. So climate change refers to a long-term change in the average weather patterns that have come to define Earth's local, regional, and global climates. And it is usually because of anthropogenic activities, and it is deteriorating our Earth, our climate, our natural resources. And it can be seen through mass weather events, slow risk weather events, and it is affecting everyone. So let us first see what is the relation between climate change and gender-based violence. So due to climate change, weather events happen. So for example, a mass weather event happens like flood or a tsunami. And when flood or tsunamis, we have disaster management plans, but we do not have disaster management plans for recurring events. Because of climate change, these events these are not rare events now. These are recurring at a very, very large scale. And almost all the nations are not equipped with the resources. And women get the short end of the stick when these events happen. And one of those issues is that they face intimate partner violence that increases because of this. They are psychologically abused, economically, they are more challenged because of climate change. So let's say a flood happens. There are poor accessibility to health facilities. Women have different health needs. And when it comes to a disaster, those will not be addressed. Those will not be the first thing that the government looks upon. Social structures break down. Gender-based discrimination increases. Women and girls face higher risk of being left behind during stress migration. They have the gender role of being the caregiver of the family. They have to take care of the kids. They can't just run away. And all of these, because they are left behind in an area which people have gone from, they are more vulnerable to violence. So this is what happens usually when there's mass weather events. But let's say there's a slow risk climate event like heat wave. And when we think about heat waves, how is it affecting? Like how is it leading to increased gender-based violence, increased intimate partner violence? So or even another microclimate event like droughts that happens, women are more dependent on natural activities, natural resources. In India also, we can see 75% of the women are engaged in agriculture. When we look upon the agricultural the population that works in agriculture, and those are also like the pink jobs. And those are mostly dependent upon natural resources. So when these events happen, natural resources are destroyed, women's economic finance is affected, their economic independence is affected. Men can migrate and find work. Women can't migrate because they have to look after the family. They have that social gender role, which leads to increased psychological difficulty and strain because they have to give up their freedom, their economic freedom. And because of the strain and stress, intimate partner violence also increases. There have been a number of studies on this. And as they have the traditional duties, we can see here, and the gender stereotypes are being reinforced. Women have fought these gender stereotypes for so long, and finally they have a little say, they can work and they can have a little economic freedom. But because of climate change, gender stereotypes are being reinforced. So let's see what are the effects more clearly. So health impact. Women are most vulnerable to health issues during climate change, and social and cultural constructs amplify the chances of catching diseases. when a disaster happens, waterborne diseases, airborne diseases, and women have, because of, again, gender roles, they will not be the first one to eat, they will be the first one to provide. Drought happens, they'll go further distances to find water, but they will not be the first one to engage in those resources, or they will be the first one to provide, and they get the short end of the stick, as I said, and have worse health impacts, economic impacts, as we discussed. They lose because of natural resources dependent jobs, agricultural activities, fishing. Uneven temperatures and weather patterns are affecting women's livelihood and economic freedom. Psychological challenges like floods, earthquakes, droughts, disaster, stress migration leads to emotional stress and depression. Child marriages are increasing because families are worried that, oh, next year की फसल खराब हो जाएगी, कैसे हम डाउरी भरेंगे, इस साल की फसल अच्छी है, इस साल लड़की की शादी कर देते हैं, जल्दी कर देते हैं. Child marriages are increasing in India. This is a very, very severe impact. Social civil groups have been fighting, and now this is another big challenge in the hands of lawmakers and civil society, climate change, which we do not really have a fixed solution for. And it is affecting the poor, vulnerable society and the section of our society a lot, especially children and women. Food security gets affected. Again, natural resources are getting affected. Floods come. Coastal regions, highly dependent on fishing, and they can't, fish and have the food security. Agricultural weather patterns are affecting, don't have food security. So this was my blog article. So this is a little shorter. I apologize for that. In my research, I will be obviously increasing this and touching upon policy issues, global issues. Right now, what way forward is that the international law lacks any provision specifically addressing gender-based violence and its intersection with climate change. And because of any proper rule book or any proper, what can we say? No agency or no government has any guide on how to form laws, and which is becoming an issue. And also climate change, even though being a global issue, it is very, very dynamic and very customized, very customizable for every country. Every country has its own challenges when it and the kinds of climate change difficulties it is facing, which leads to different challenges for the government to when it comes to addressing gender-based violence stemming from that climate change related event. So we need to have a law. Government needs to add into disaster related plans and challenges about gender-based violence and how it is impacting women more. And health agencies also need to have some sort of plan when disasters get struck, that to address the challenges that women are facing, they don't get left behind during stress migration. Food security does not get affected. So these are some things when it comes to that we need to look upon, and the government needs to definitely take up when it regarding climate change, so that women and children are safe. Then, so this was it regarding my research paper based presentation. Now for my creative project, I'm not really that good, or I can't really write in that manner a poem or a song as a lot of my fellows have done, but I have created a presentation, and for this presentation, I have chosen the topic, the woman every girl can be. So my reason for choosing this topic was because I believe that this is a topic that we all believe in and that we all understand is important in even ending gender-based violence and women empowerment. Women, when girls are born, they obviously have a vast seed of potential. They can be the next Kalpana Chawla, the next Marie Curie, even the next Prime Minister. But they are often looked upon as liabilities. Are ladki hui hai? That is still a very big taboo. Even just today, my mom told me that there was this news that a family did not come to the hospital to take up their, because they had this third girl child, they did not come to the hospital to take the child home. And the doctor had to share it on social media, and 35 lakh people came. They were ready to take that girl. And because after seeing that kind of response, the family understood the importance of the girl child. So even today, even after 75 years of independence, such values are deeply rooted in our society. And so I asked a few of my friends what were some of the values that helped shape how they became that these like strong independent women they are today. So these were the four things that my friends said: education, equality of opportunity, building resilience, and mentorship. So if we look at empowering through education, everybody says that education is the main tool. It's the most powerful tool we have, not just for girls, for
Sorry to
everyone.
interrupt in between, Sheetalji. We are just, running out of time, so you can just finish your presentation in the next 2 minutes. Would it be
Yeah,
fine?
sure. I just
Yeah,
have two
definitely. Go
slides
ahead.
more. Yeah. So we all know that education is the most important and empowering tool in the hands of anyone. A lot of my friends said that when they felt low or when they felt that nobody was supporting them, they were able to go ahead and do what they wanted to do because of their education, because they knew that they had uh, the education to back them and make it possible for them to do what they wanted to do. And I have tried to share one example of one of our important historical figure or some figure that has helped in the cause. Or then the next one is building resilience. So resilience is a trait, so it can't really be taught, and it's very intangible. But I believe resilience, especially for girls, is very important, especially in our society where there are gender roles, where even us, we have very supporting parents, and we are helped and backed. I hope we are helped and backed by our family. Still we get to hear the occasional "अरे बेटा इतना पढ़ाया है, ये भी करना चाहिए था, अरे बेटा लड़की हो तुम," या अरे बेटा, something we get to hear stuff like that. And if girls are not resilient and they are not fighting for themselves or for their own, or standing up for themselves, I think it is very hard still for them to be able to go through with their plans, achieve their goals, and stand strong in society. The next is role of mentorships. So this was for my friends, you more from the area that they were able to do things because they had the right mentors in their family, in their teachers, and I think that really matters. And let's say Mary Com, the in today in our society still बॉक्सिंग कर रही हो, बॉक्सिंग सीख रही हो, ये कोई लड़कियों का स्पोर्ट है. That is the first thing that is said now. So stuff like this needs to change, and mentorship can really help. And I have added this little verse.
जो तुझसे लिपटी बेड़ियां समझना इनको वस्तु, जो तुझसे लिपटी बेड़ियां समझना इनको वस्तु, तू ये बेड़ियां पिघाल कर बना ले इनको शस्त्र, बना ले इनको शस्त्र, तो खुद की खोज में डर किस लिए हताश है.
Yeah, thank you. This was my little creative project, and this is not obviously not mine. This is by Amitabh Bachchan. I just took it because I thought it worked here. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheetal, for a very articulate and very erudite presentation. I think your idea of doing a research paper and the framework within which you are trying to examine it is quite commendable. I'm so happy that all, but one bhakti is still remaining, no? Because Priyanka has written in the list. Is she there?
Yes, ma'am, we tried
All
contacting
others have
her.
presented.
Yes, ma'am. Her name was in the list, and I actually contacted her, but couldn't get a response right now. So I guess.
Okay. So I think we have totally, but we had one extra, another person. So total 11 presentations took place today. Yeah. So they were by, yeah, we started with Miss Durga Hole, then Miss Vidya Kulkarni, Amrita Das, Nandini Sharma, Rifat Ali Fatima, Namrata Kulkarni, Lydia Jose, Ishrat Nayak, Irma Kankatra, Ruchi Jain, and Shital Sharma. And who is Mr. Amrut Honda Pagol?
Yes, ma'am. He is also a fellow, and he has shared his research proposal, and everything is done from his side. But he is not able to present today because of some issue. He has written us over the email, so he has informed us.
Okay, okay. So totally, yeah. Okay. So today we had a total, yeah, it's 11 presentations, no? Yeah, fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And we thank our participants and like the fellows who have presented so well today. It was a wonderful session, I would say. And some have also requested to, take a picture together. So if everyone allows, you can just kindly turn on your video and I would just take a screenshot. Everyone, please. Yeah, so whosoever wants to join the group picture, please come in.
Today,
it is so good to see all the lovely faces together in one frame. Yeah. Nandini ji and Namrata ji. Nandini ji?
Nandini ji.
Yeah,
Nandini ji.
is also left.
Just give me a second, please. Just a second.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. It's fine. Yeah. Paneer. Okay.
Nandini ji is also opening up.
Nandini ji, are you trying?
Yeah, she is. Meanwhile, I've already taken some.
Yeah.
No worries, Namrata ji. We understand that. It's fine.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah, I have taken.
Yeah.
All right then.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So this brings us to the end of today's session. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I would now like to invite Professor Vibhuti Patel ji for her closing remarks for today's session. Then we will go ahead with the formal.
Yeah. I think for the whole, now this is the last session we have. Now we'll be either meeting one-to-one on email or on WhatsApp group. But it's very important. We are really happy that the amount of work which the and the preliminary efforts which the IMPRI team has made has brought to such a good end, and its fruition has been so empowering. And you people have made such a multi-talented skills that you have shown, and also the creativity with which all 11 presentations have been made, because you shared poems and photo story and literary criticism and analysis of poems, research papers with interdisciplinary, intradisciplinary, multidisciplinary, and also transdisciplinary perspectives, and also articles, blog, film review, journey of women's collective in fighting gender-based violence, and the video film. So I think it shows that how creative and talented and committed you are, because most important thing is a perspective. Once you have a right perspective, all other things fall in. And that we witnessed today, that the last 8 days of discussion, presentations by resource person, personal testimony shared by them, and their grounded experience put in an analytical framework resulted in such a rigorous exercise. And all of you were so active, proactive participants to have that. It's such a pleasure. It's such a joyous experience that we all had. And your blogs have been really extremely evocative, because I read all the blogs which are there on Instagram as well as on LinkedIn, all the blogs IMPRI team has put up. So I think that is very good, and it shows that we are all very thoroughly professional. I know all of you are very busy with your day-to-day work, whether in the women's movement or development sector, or in your professional life as an architect, or working in the corporate world, or doing the research. So, but still you have given so much of dedicated effort for this course that itself makes it worth the effort that whole team and the collectively we have made. So it is not only the organizers and the resource persons, but you have also added great value to this effort. And today, this video of your presentation is in social media all over. YouTube has been shared right from the very beginning by the IMPRI team. So congratulations. And I think we are going to have a very good, high quality and the anthology published by IMPRI, which will also benefit the community and the society and bring new insights, because the topics which you have chosen are also addressing the major challenges posed in the contemporary society. So thank you very much. Thank you for all of this.
Thanks,
Thank you so
ma'am.
much, Vibhuti ma'am. Thank you so much for your remarks.
Thank you.
All right, so just last announcement I would like to make. The feedback form will also be shared with you via email. So please kindly fill up. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So this brings us to the end of today's session. As we conclude day 8 of Ending Gender-Based Violence Fellowship, I, Purvi Narayan, on behalf of IMPRI Gender Impact Studies Center, extend my heartfelt gratitude. We sincerely thank our chair, Professor Vibhuti Patel ji, and all the fellows who have put in their invaluable contributions and engaging with us in a powerful discussion with themes associated with gender-based violence. Readings for the session and resources will also be shared with you via email. A video recording of today's session will also be available for reference. If you are watching this session later on YouTube, listening to us on our various podcasts, or reading our publications, we truly appreciate your engagement and support. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of this initiative. Wishing a good evening ahead. Thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you, Purvi Narayan, for moderating the session so well
It
throughout
was a pleasure,
this series.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.